Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yoshi Man, and last time we've actually done some target radio and did some generic duels, and this time I'm going to play against, the ex-king of games, Yugi Muto, so I'm actually, the title defender. So yeah, I have to defend my title as king of games. But I'm more like, the king of flames. Oh, very bad pun. Yeah, that definitely makes me the king of flames. I should have reset the, that one card's trap hole, but we cannot go back. So, I can do a very sneaky move. I can actually set everything. I haven't thought this out very much. Also, there is a thunderstorm outside, which is kind of worrying. If you hear some, rough noises, yeah. You know why. It's, storming outside here in Petit Belgium. Seriously, the weather is going from, 0 to 10 or 100 and just like that. It was already cloudy outside, but I never thought it's going to be that bad. But actually, it's not like, a huge storm like, as you see in the Americas. Let's see. He has Alpha the Magnum and one trap. So maybe I should lure out the trap, or maybe I should not. I don't know what the trap is. I will Giant Predator and maybe go a bit more aggressive with my plays. Let's see if there's a... Oh yes, I have a Jinzo. Derp. Herp derp. I sometimes forgot that I have, shit in my graveyard. Let's attack it, and yeah, Jinzo really looks to duel, unless, yeah, Yugi uses Dark Hole. Dark Hole can also be very devastating. You can actually, as of right now, you can actually run 2 Dark Holes in your deck. It's actually semi-limited, which is crazy. And Raigeki is at 1, so you have like, 3 massive destruction cards you actually can run nowadays. That's insanity, man. Oh my god, Snatch Steal. The funny thing is, the AI never activates, these cards like Snatch Steal. I don't know why, because, what Snatch Steal does is basically stealing a monster. Equip it to a monster and just, basically get it on your side on your side on the field. The only, drawback is just, your opponent gains some life points. That's it. Those life points during... I don't know which standby phase it is. It might be his or her standby phase. This is a bit of a, dilemma. But I have to take a chance. I have a lot of mass destruction cards. Magic Selena, which is the worst card I can actually run into. I'm not going to use one of my mass destruction cards yet. I can actually Dark Hole the field. Well, maybe I should have Dark Hole the field. Yeah, Dark Hole is not really... In real life, Dark Hole is not really a hard card to get. You can easily get, the common version of Dark Hole. Raigeki, on the other hand, is much harder to get. It's always have been in a rarity status. The lowest rarity of Raigeki is actually just rare from a battle pack, or was it actually a battle pack? Yeah, it was actually a battle pack. And it only has, one rare card, one... I guess you could also get it Shadow Foil and whatnot. That's actually the lowest rarity, and even then it's still expensive, you know. Like, you know, 20 euros for one. And it has never been printed in a starter deck, which is also interesting to point out. Maybe I should, you know, get going for the passengers and, you know, talk to them. Let's see if there's some interesting duelists. Yeah, we have actually dueled a lot of them before. I will let you know if I actually see an interesting duelist. Well, actually, I want to duel Joey because it has been a while. I think he really wants a revenge on me since I've owned his ass a lot of times after he owns my ass a lot of times. And this is a terrible hand. Only traps and a spell. This is terrible. Well, let's see what we have. Graceful Charity. That makes actually a difference though. Get rid of these two cards. Get Giant Soldier or Storm on the field. I have some really good trap cards. I don't have a Mirror Force. That's actually the card that I'm actually missing. Using Trap Hole. He has another Zombyra at the deck. That's a card I don't want. I want that card. Why do we have that card? Just trade it to me. Just give it to me. Gimme. Gib. I'm going to set this giant threat. That rhymes. Ah. Do you want to really rub it into my face? I get it, you have good cards. No need to show it off, you know. I have this card in real life and it's actually a common. And nowadays, you know, it's not really used at all. Basically, you know, beaters, level 4 high attack beaters aren't really the meta anymore. Which is actually fine, you know. There is not much strategy if you have, you know, these, you know, beaters. Well, what really the meta is some other bullshit. Like through Dracos, that's actually, you know, if you actually watch, you know, the 2017, you know, World Championship, it was either, you know, dinosaurs, you know, or, you know, through Dracos. But yeah, I think they're going to ban a lot of cards after a month. Because at September we are actually going to get the ban list, and I think there are a lot of cards going to be banned. And maybe Raigeki would be at risk, because some people would say that Raigeki would get banned. I don't know. There are a lot of cases that contradicts that there's a possibility to get it even banned. Because some people doesn't even run it in their decks. I mean, a lot of people doesn't run it. And we're talking actually about the pro players. They don't decide to put it in a deck. What they put instead is actually, you know, a bullshit card called, you know, whatchamacallit? Slumber of the Geysers or something. Of Geysers Interrupted Slumber. Basically, you know, it's a dark hole and you summon both sides of the field your Geysers. And Geysers are basically, you know, basically anti-meta cards. If you have a real, like, you know, established field and there are some strong monsters, you can actually, you know, and it cannot be destroyed by anything at all. You can basically, you know, tribute it and put it on your opponent's side of the field to take care of that. Such a degenerate card. You guys are actually degenerate. And I'm actually planning to run Geysers and Kratos. That's actually a degenerate combo what you can do. Only nitties play these cards. Like me. A lot of people get pissed when you play these cards. Because it's so degenerate. I mean, degenerate actually, the term degenerate is a bit misconstrued, but in this you know, scenario, it's not healthy. Well, there are some counter arguments I can come up with why, you know, Geysers are actually necessary, because at some point, you know, you can actually have an established field and there's nothing you can do about it, and the duel goes very quick in like few turns. And so Geysers are in a sense, you know, a wild card, you know, an answer to these cards and turn the duel rounds. So I'm actually more in favor, you know, having these Geysers in this game than not having a Geysers. I feel like Geysers are actually a necessary evil. Yeah, you may disagree. That's actually fine. I mean, you can comment down below what you think about the Geysers. Oh, I'm actually open for all argument, basically. People, and maybe I can, you know, look into it and change my perspective on it. But I feel like, you know, Geysers are actually a necessary evil in today's meta. But we're actually not doing, you know, today's meta. We are playing the very old school meta, if there is actually a meta. Because during that time, Yu-Gi-Oh wasn't really that, you know, relevant as in, you know, competitive scene, or not as much as of, you know, 2005 or, you know, 2004, when, you know, a lot of, you know, exclusive events were, you know, held, you know, like tournaments. I actually went to tournaments during the Goat format days. It was actually in 2005, and those are this is actually one of the most skillful full formats, if you want to call that. I mean, today's meta you also need to have skill, but of course that's in every game. But it's more like, you know, but you know, with the Goat format, it's more like, you know, a chess game. You have to basically be very careful, or more like play more with caution, and, you know, anticipate a lot more. And I feel like, you know, today's age of Yu-Gi-Oh, you don't know what you're actually up against, which is also a great thing actually, if you look at it. I mean, there are a lot of good things at, you know, old school Yu-Gi-Oh and you know, the new times of Yu-Gi-Oh, because both of these worlds are actually, you know, very awesome. Because as of today's format, you can also expect some random ass deck, you know, and you would be surprised what some random ass decks can do. I'm not the most skilled Yu-Gi-Oh player. I make dumb mistakes, but it's always fun to see some new tactics. And who knows, maybe some of the dumb tactics becomes the meta once, you know, new packs are getting released and the older cards might get some relevance, which has happened time and time again. And some of the cards actually have to be banned for it. That's actually interesting. Because you can actually basically abuse these cards into oblivion. Like Super Rejuvenation, that's actually a card that's not in this game, but it's actually also an old card. It's actually at the next set when the last set of this, this game. The last set of this game was actually partially Labyrinth of Nightmare. There are basically Labyrinth of Nightmare is actually, you know, in this game. And the set after, you know, Labyrinth of Nightmares, Legacy of Darkness, and this is where super rejuvenation is actually, you know, in it. You can build it very easily. It's actually a common, but they actually have to ban it for a very good reason too, because you can utilize it in a lot of dragon decks that makes you tribute a lot of stuff of send it to the graveyards. And you basically get a lot of pluses, and then you can also, if you draw into super rejuvenation, if you have it like 3 times in your deck, you can still use the quick play effect during your end phase or something, and still draw cards. And this is actually a nasty combo, so I can see why this card need to be banned. It's so abusive. Yes, and this is actually an urgent announcement for participating duelists. There are some ghouls doing some nasty stuff, and yeah. I'm actually going to talk to passengers in order to trigger the events. Excuse me, I heard that the card center is around here. Do you know where it might be located? I don't know. I just get random packs. And there's the ghoul. Leave it. I will have rare cards. So this guy is called Strings, and he isn't much of a talker. More like a stalker, essentially. He looks so creepy. Yes, it's a he. I don't know, he kind of looks feminine, but it kind of looks not. He's actually a mime. That's why he looks kind of, weird. Yeah, and also assumed someone's gender. Oh my god. The memes that was spit out. Did you assume my gender? Yeah. Oh, I got some memes. Also, yeah, that's Bean Soldier. That's my card. You cannot run that card. It only belongs to me, the Yoshi Meister. I'm the Yoshi Meister. I'm going to draw a card. Well, Strings has a lot of staples in his deck, so I'm actually going to MST the face down because it's always one of these nasty cards. Yeah, I'll also change the deck. I actually dropped the Wall of Illusion in favor of some more spell cards and whatnot. I actually use what's it called, one more MST, because you can actually put 2 or 3 of them in your deck. Also put Rush Recklessly in favor of Shadow Spell. I also put the Length Duel because that's actually a very good card. Also Fatebird. Just widespread ruin. The only downside of your Rush Recklessly is you actually have to have a monster on the field. But at most times I already have a monster in the field. But if you're at a desperate situation, maybe Shadow Spell is better, just to stop an attack. But then again, you can run much better cards than that. Also, let's see. He has some random cards, so I'm actually a bit cautious. So this is where, Rush Recklessly is really useful. You can actually power up your monster when you actually, declare an attack and battle. So my monster is strong enough to get over it, so it gives you a boost. And we're halfway there. Whoa, we're halfway there. Ho, ho. This is copyright. I don't know, I have to butcher this song. And this is GG. And what is this? Hey, Bolt Penguin. Nice. What not? Yeah, he he's not much of a challenge unless, yeah, he's not really much of a challenge. Let's just say that. He runs some basic ass staples, but that's about it, really. He tends to fuck himself over. Also another Dark Magician, and yeah, we got our this card back, which is nice. Well, also we got an extra pack. Let's see what it is. Some shiny cards. I want some shiny cards. Yes, this is the shiny cards. Oh, the shiny cards. I want all the shiny cards. I want all the super foil. Okay, I will stop. I actually step into, you know, Hoya Go-Go mode, so yeah. Well, last duel is going to be against Joey Wheeler, because even though I might be a bit over time, but I feel like dueling, you know, dueling Joey Jojo. Ooh, Joey Jojo senpai. Yeah, I'm a bit random when it's getting a bit more later. This is where my medication, runs out. Oh no, oh no. It can actually get over my giant ass Soldier of Stone. This is why, Zombyra in the Dark is so good. This is why it's a bad matchup for me. I can actually set this and, hope for the best. Hopefully he doesn't have a Zombyra in the Dark. Oh my god, you really want to rub it into my face, It's a card that I really want in this game. Well, I actually got this in real life and it's just like common, but in this game it's so valuable. It's such an awesome card. And we also don't have this text called Zombyra in the TCG, it's only in the OCG, which I don't know why they don't want to include the text in. It looks more, badass. It looks like some sort of a evil superhero, if that makes sense. There's nothing I can actually do. I'm actually desperate and just set the Morphing Jar. No, you will not defeat us. Or defeat me. Okay, there's the Morphing Jar. Because my hand is basically trash. Yeah. And Zombyra cannot attack directly, so I only got damage from this one. And he ends his battle phase. It's also his turn, just like that. What I'm actually going to do, MST. It's always recommendable to use, spell and trap removal in your deck. That was a Mirror Force, oh my god. That's a very nasty card. Very nasty indeed. He also play Red Eyes, so he might tribute for Red Eyes. I'm actually going to attack into his Goblin Attack Force. I just don't want to take chances and let it attack once more again, even though he's still kind of attacking, this following battle phase. And yeah, there's another Goblin Attack Force. But I have a, Quick Play spell card that actually can counter it. So yeah. This is, So I'm actually kinda back in the duel, kinda not. So I'm actually going to use the Gemini Elf. I think I'm going to play aggressively and go balls to the walls. Oh baby. Yeah, I don't want to let him tribute summon something. Because it's going to bite me in the ass if I don't do this. Yeah, he sets a card, yeah. There's actually... That trap line is not good, let's just say that. I don't know what he has, but I actually want to cripple his hand. Let's see, what cards are actually, discarded. Phantom Warrior and discards, okay. At least we got rid of some cards. And he goes -1. Which is why I activated. Yeah, the Delinquent Duel is now banned because for obvious reasons. Going +1 or minus and letting your opponents having -1 is so OP. Magic Jammer, I have to get rid of Giant Trinate. Which is a very good card, but yeah, in this game it's not as good, but you know, in later formats it's actually broken, that's why they have to ban it. You can easily abuse it, because there are some effects that, you know, trigger, or you know, basically, you know, doing wombo combos with. I think I'm going to attack with my strongest monster. Well, it's just an X-Rider, but what else? Because essentially it's only a 2 turns that I'm actually going to finish him off regardless of the situation. So might as well attack with my strongest monster. Strongest, that's actually a funny word. It's not even a word, it's just something that my blabbermouth has made up. It's the strongest card! Oh my god, it's so strong! I think somebody it is some dialect that there is somewhere in the in the world that says like this. So anyway, I'm going to defeat him. Joey is not. Yeah, he can be tough though with his beat sticks, but even then it's not going to matter that much because I'm so great. I'm so great. I'm so great. I am so cool. I am so cool. Everybody loves me. Everybody loves me. I'm so humble. I am so humble. Oh yeah. Okay, let's see. I really love this set because it reminds me of the the set that is one of the first cards packages I've ever bought. It was actually Magic Ruler, aka Spell Ruler, because they actually changed that name because for obvious reasons due to Magic the Gathering and shit, so they don't want to confuse it. But anyways, after rambling a lot of times, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this episode. Leave a comment or like or subscribe and do all this good stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye bye, duelists.